Deeper look at COVID-19 and our economic recovery and really societal recovery. I'm joined by Lisa Miller, consumer marketing strategist and innovation consultant with over 30 years of experience. Lisa, it's good to see you. I know you're always looking toward the future and you're always looking for bright spots. You call it joy. I want to start with something that's not maybe so great so we can get to the good stuff. In your latest survey, you find that the levels of extremely concerned Americans when it comes to Omicron is pretty high.
It is, and what we're seeing in this survey that we just completed before the holidays, 69% of Americans are really concerned about the breakthrough cases. So people that are vaccinated, they've been wearing their mask, and they're still getting COVID. So that's really top of mind right now for consumers.
And it's not quite as high as when Delta was coming on the scene, but it is interesting given that, yes, more transmissions are happening, but cases tend to be a little more mild. But you found it's not actually changing everyone's behavior. More people are tuning it out than people who are changing their behavior?
Right. What we saw, it's this interesting conundrum. It's, we've talked about joy versus fear. And although the anxiety is high for Omicron, it's actually statistically lower than it was for the Delta variant. And what that means, 45% in our last survey basically said, I'm fatigued, I'm tired, and I'm just tuning it out. Versus about a third of consumers are the ones saying they're pulling back on their behaviors. So this is where we're seeing a little bit of positive news coming this time.
I'd be so curious in upcoming surveys, I know you're always at it, of people thinking, I'm doing avoidance even though I maybe know it's not the best. Like, I'm going to have this piece of cake even though I know my doctor said I shouldn't, but I just have to do it for my own enjoyment. Or if it's like really people just saying, the shackles are off, we're going at it again. I don't know. I guess we'll find out in your next survey.
Yeah,
okay.
and we're basically looking at the fact, this survey was done right before the holidays. And I think what the consumer sentiment is that I think people are finally saying we're going to get to the other side of it. And that's what we really hope from an economy standpoint. And so, again, the next couple weeks, I think, are going to be a little bit rough, but I think people are seeing the other side. And that's really good news from an economy standpoint.
And when you look at the dollars, sales were really pretty fantastic this year. And you went actually digging deeper into who was going out to restaurants, who was going out shopping, maybe a little surprising.
Right. And, people thought I was crazy when I said people were coming back to the stores for the holidays. And it happened. I know you didn't. I know you didn't. And people did actually come back in droves. And that pent-up demand, the joyful experiences, it happened. 8.5% sales growth, the highest in 17 years. But get this, 20% growth in department stores. And so people were actually enjoying going back. And dads and Gen Z were the ones that actually came back, had the highest amount of, splurging more on their holiday gifts.
Looking to the future, people are overall feeling that we are headed in a better direction.
Well, what I'm looking at is the trends. I have trends dating from March of last year, and we're slowly going up in that positive, sentiment, looking for joy. It's been a roller coaster, and yes, Omicron is definitely a dip. But when you look at the long term, we are making those steps forward. And again, that's really positive news for all of us, actually.
Lisa Miller, as always, thank you so much. I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.